Hi and welcome to the day 7 of my 25 Days of Christmas tutorial series. Today I'll be showing you how you can repurpose your fall-themed dies to create a holiday project. I'm starting with a piece of patterned paper from I Wish set by Maja Design, and now I'm tracing a ground line with a pencil. Then I'll be using this Woodland layering stencil by Holtz to create a tree background. I'm using Memento Olive Grove ink, but Distress ink would also do fine for this project. The tools and products I'm using are listed in the description as well as on my blog. Now I am creating the second layer. This image is also the part of the stencil. I'm applying a Versamark ink with a sponge applicator right through the stencil, and then I'm going to use white embossing powder. After the powder is heat set, I'm going to repeat the same process with a smaller tree. I'll be using the standard size 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches chipboard note card, and I'm going over the edges with Walnut stained distress ink. Now I'm going to stick my patterned paper on top of the card base. I'm using the liquid glue, but tape adhesive would also do fine. I just ran out of it. I have also created a frame with the dies number 1 and number 4 of Rectangle Basics die set by Memory Box, and I have covered the frame with Walnut stained distress ink. Now I'm sticking some pieces of foam tape. It's in black, and then I'm going to attach it on top of the card. Because I have inked the edges of the card with the walnut stain, no light color will be showing from beneath the frame, and it's going to have a neat look. Now when the frame and the background are ready, I'm ready to create my scene with the die cuts. I'm going to use the dies from Magnolia collection volume 16. It is fall themed, but I'm going to create a holiday project with it. So this die is the ladder, and I'm going to stick 3 die cuts one on top of another to create more dimension. And I'm going to turn this ladder into the picket fence. I will actually need 2 pieces just to build up a larger fence. So I'm sticking all the die cuts with the liquid glue, which is Ranger Multimedia Matte, slightly watered down. The next die I'll be using is this cool log. I've die cut it out of 2 shades of brown, and I'm going to stick the lighter one on top of the darker one, shifting it a little bit so that I could create some shading effect. It will also add a little bit of dimension. So now I'm going to attach the log to the card with some foam squares and a bit of liquid glue. And now the fun part is about to begin, where I'm going to create a character out of fall-themed dies. So here are those dies. There are apple, acorn, mushroom, hedgehog, a snail, a pebble, and maple seeds. But they can also be something completely different. Before I start die cutting, I want to color a piece of cardstock with firebrick distress ink just to get the right shade of red. And this is the same color, firebrick, but in oxide version. Then I will go over the edges of red die cuts with walnut stained distress ink to create some shading. One more thing to do is to trim the maple seeds, just to leave 1 seed on each die cut. We'll need 2 of them. And now I am ready to assemble my character. So this is the acorn die. I'm going to apply some glue onto it and stick what used to be a hedgehog on top. Then we are going to take a mushroom cap and also attach it on top of the acorn. Then we take what seemed to be a pebble and attach it on top of these die cuts like that. This snail shell die cut will go underneath. It's just the perfect size for this character. And these die cuts are 2 mushroom stems. And then I'm going to attach the maple seeds as well. These 2 apple tails with leaves will make wonderful boots. I have decided to go over the log with the Picket Fence Distress ink. I'm applying it with my finger and this will create the frost effect. And now I'm going to attach my little Santa on top with a foam square and some liquid adhesive. The scene is nearly complete, but it needs some finishing touches. This die is made to be a twig, but you can also create pine branches out of it if you die cut it out of green paper. I'm sticking the branches randomly at the bottom of the card. Now I'm going to use one of my favorite mediums. It's Snow-Tex by DecoArt, and it's a chunky texture paste that is perfect for the snow effect. And I'm going to apply it on top of the picket fence, onto the log, the branches at the bottom of the frame, as well as onto the character. I would also like to remind you that if you would like to purchase the fall die collection by Magnolia, Swedish House Crafts online store gives you a 5% discount plus free international shipping. Just use this code at the checkout. I'm going to stamp a sentiment. It's from a Christmas Greetings stamp set by Poppy Stamps. And I'll go with the Season's Greetings. The ink I'm using is Versafine Vintage Sepia. To finish off the card, I'm going to attach some star stickers. I just had them in my stash. I don't know who makes them, but you can use die cuts or sequins instead of stickers. Now my holiday card is complete. And by the way, do you recognize this guy? It's him, the one from day 2 project of my series, still at large, hiding somewhere. And this is just another way to create this character. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Here are the day 7 projects from the previous years in case you haven't seen them. Have a great week. I hope to see you again soon.